1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. Hi guys, back with another Halloween movie review. This time it'll be of A Nightmare on Elm Street, a very classic movie, and a movie that my family's kind of grew up with, I guess, since my because of what happened to him, like, and he'll just never like everyone who ever lives on that on Elm Street, like, he's always gonna home and kill their kids for for what they did to him, and that's basically the story. And Nats is on like is one of the unlucky ones, and ends up on Freddy Krueger's hit list, her and her friends. So it kind of all starts off with them just hanging out with each other. Some of her friends are having fun. That's all I'm gonna say. Lol. And then I guess she's just like a more of a chilled girl. She's not like doing those kind of things that those kids were doing back then. Lol. Like what they was doing in Halloween and stuff. a dead friend, and I guess the person that you see at the bottom right, I guess, is that supposed to be like a teacher? Then she kind of sees her as Freddy though. Yeah, I always remember that scene. And she just wakes up because I think did she get injured in her dream? Because she does it a few times every time she falls asleep. She gets injured from Freddy. But she basically goes home after that. And then that's when she talks with her friend, played by Johnny Depp. Since I don't think they really have a proper relationship yet. But since there was a part of what happened with Rod's girlfriend, I guess they'd rather just stick together. And she's trying to figure out what's actually going on and what actually killed her friend. So she basically uses Johnny Depp's character to find out what happened. Because she basically goes to the jail, right? And then she sees like Freddy there. And then like Freddy basically hands him, but that's like afterwards, after she leaves, when she thinks that he's okay. And then they find out that he hanged himself, even though it was actually Freddy, since he was just sleeping in his jail cell. Yeah. And then after that, I think she tries to go to sleep. Wait, it wasn't, because doesn't she go to sleep the overtime? Yeah, that's how it went. Yeah, I'm sorry. So it's like I'm kind of get messed up on that part because of the way how this movie works with dreams. Like, because you have to pay attention to know which part is real and what's not real. Yeah. But yeah, Wog basically does die. So that's 2 people so far, and it's just her and Johnny Depp's character at that point. But yeah, her mom actually knows about the full story of what happened with Freddy, since she was I think she was the one who actually killed Freddy originally. Yeah, like she was the one who actually burned him out of the parents. She basically explained that to Nancy, so she knows the backstory of Freddy at that point. And then later on, where they start locking the doors and everything, yeah, lock her inside. They basically go to Johnny Depp's character, and this is when we get probably if I don't know how I should say it, but could you say it's one of the most, if not the most, iconic movie character death in a horror movie? Because when I think of horror movie deaths, this is one of the first that comes to mind, and that's Johnny Depp's character when he's just in bed watching TV on those little TVs that you can have in bed, and then he just gets sucked down his bed, and then afterwards all the blood just goes up the ceiling, what you can see in the bottom left. Yeah, so brutal, damn. And I think in the actual true story of the serial killer, something like that actually happened. I'd need to look into that story again, because how would all that blood actually in real life go up to the ceiling like that? Yeah, it kind of hurt. Like that part of the film's actually happened in a way, but I just can't remember how they explained it. But yeah, that's always going to be one of the horror movie deaths that I always remember. Yeah, moving on. I think they basically take Nancy to the hospital to see how she's doing, because she has a lot of nightmares, and the way how she just wakes up, they just want to check on her to see if she's doing okay. And I think, did they do that before Johnny Depp's character died? But yeah, she basically gets a scar from Freddy Krueger when she wakes up from a dream, and she also grabs Freddy's hat. And I think that's when when the mum actually told Nancy about the story. And a bit later on, they basically lock up Nancy so she's safe. But I think that was the mother's idea. Probably the mum's and the father's idea. My screen was about to go off there. But then, Freddy's also inside there, so, she's kind of in danger. But it seems like she sets up traps because, her plan was to go to sleep after she set up the traps to face Freddy. Facing her fears. And then when things got real, when Freddy actually came, that's when she was trying to call for help. But, it's not like they're going to listen to her because Freddy's real? Yeah, right. we killed him years ago. But, you know, she eventually gets one of the cops to call her dad while she's, you know, taking on Freddy. And this is one of the things that make her, you know, one of the best final girls, with how much she, you know, plans for Freddy, all the traps she sets. And even when Freddy's after her, like, she just finds things around her and uses it to her advantage, so she can fight back. And she shows how not scared she is of Freddy. Well, she's also trying to survive, so obviously that's the scary part, but just showing Freddy that you're not afraid of him. That's probably one of the cool things about Nancy's character. Just like standing up to him like that, especially at the end. And that's like, I think that's after Freddy kills her mom, since Freddy, like, that's probably one of the people who wanted to kill the most, since that's the one who I think kills Freddy. Yeah. And that's when the dad actually comes in and sees what happened. And, you know, the Freddy just kind of takes the mother down in the bed, like the way how they did it. And the father sees it too. And that's when he believes Nancy. And yeah, like, after the father leaves the room, just confused of what just happened. And probably mourning the mother at the same time, his wife. You know, that's when Freddy comes back to take out, you know, Nancy. But she shows that she's not afraid of him anymore and that this is not real. And she tries to get her friends back, which, you know, goes into it like a... Would I say it's a dream sequence? You know, when they're in the car, like, all the friends who died, and everything looks like it's normal. And then, you know, she says bye to her mum, because, you know, she wished for her mum and her friends to be back. But then you see the Freddy car, well, it's basically a Freddy car, assemble, and then that's when they just get driven away, and then the mum, she just gets dragged through the door window. And then you hear the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, you know, that song. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a really iconic movie. I just watch it all the time on, you know, the Halloween month. And I can't wait to watch the sequels again as well. Yeah, it's like 3, 4, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. They're the ones that I like to watch. 2, oh man, that's just the worst one. I'm obviously not going to review it this Halloween. I'll review the worst horror movie sequels next year. I can't really do it this year. I just can't. This year's already bad enough. I'm not going to review the worst horror movies from these, you know, movie franchises. I just can't do it. That's too much work. Having to watch those movies again, like actually sit down and watch them, I can't do it. So yeah, like, just like with the Halloween movies, I'm going to review the best movies. Yeah, that's my full review. One of Wes Craven's, well, it is Wes Craven's best movie. Because even though I really like the sequels, this is definitely the best one and will always be the best one. But yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.